I am going to share with you 3 techniques that you can implement right away that help you to show up as the very best version of yourself almost at any time, be present at home, and be able to wind down and relax at night so that you're re-energized and rejuvenated in the morning. Have you ever brought the negative energy of one meeting to the next one? Maybe you had a meeting with a tough client, or you are angry and tense, and it shows at the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until we go home and it shows there. And we do not have the ability to be present with our loved ones, our family and friends. And equally bad, we go to bed and we can't sleep because our head is spinning. And we all know the effects of not showing up as the best selves, or our best selves, or bringing negative energy to a relationship or a meeting. We just don't have the influence that we wish with our significant others, with our vendors, our partners, our staff members, our bosses, our clients. And when that happens too often, our relationships tend to deteriorate over time. It is very rare that a relationship breaks forever because of one conflict. What I do want you to understand, though, that you can control this, no matter how bad the situation. Because when it comes to energy, think of yourself as you being a dynamo. You generate energy. So energy will not shower onto you like rain magically, right? You will not wake up in the morning one time in that state of mind and you wonderfully re-energized. You make it happen. Presence is so important. The intention of being present. All of us have experienced that one person in our lives that when we were with them, we were the most important people, right? They were like here. They looked us in the eye. You were the most important person in the history of the universe. What you had to say was more important than anything else that was going on. Nobody was looking at a screen or scanning the restaurant, see what else is going on. You. If you have ever experienced that, you know how it feels to be heard, to be respected, to be acknowledged, to be listened to be understood, to be honored. Presence is such a great difference maker. So I'm going to show you a technique later on, how you can show that presence whenever you have to. Finally, think about when your clients and your vendors and your staff and everybody around you, their loved ones, want you the most. Most likely when you're on fire, right? So nobody wants you to be like that negative and low energy person. They want you the most when you are on fire. So if you do not rejuvenate and re-energize, it's not going to happen. It's your responsibility to relax. It is short-term thinking, burning the midnight oil, doing the last thing, or not sleeping and trying to find a solution at night while lying in bed because you cannot rejuvenate, and you will never be at your very best because you just don't have that renewed energy and fresh mind that you need in order to move things forward. So here are the 3 things that you can do to counteract that. First one, think of your day as a series of transitions, right? So you wake up in the morning and you go to have breakfast to sit down with your family. That is a transition. Then you switch on your computer and read emails. That is a transition. After you're done reading emails, you have your team meeting. That is a transition. After that meeting, you have a client meeting. That is a transition. You have lunch, maybe when you're at home with the family. That is a transition, and so on. And between every transition, I want you to just take 2 minutes and rebuild that energy and set an intention for how you're going to show up at the next meeting. So the way that works is you just close your eyes and think release. And by the way, just closing your eyes is so great. It feels so well because we look at screens and papers and numbers all the time, and you just relax and close your eyes. Just do it with me for a moment and just experience how great that feels. And then you think release, release, release. So you release your brain to see and feel how your face muscles loosen up, how the tension in your brain just melts down. Pay attention to your jaw and your neck and just think release, release, release. Release your shoulders and think release, release. Walk or work yourself down to your hips and think release. Release. Down to your knees, your calves, your feet, your ankles, and relax and release. Just think release for a minute. And after that minute, you keep your eyes closed. And now you set an intention for how you will show up as the best version of yourself at the next meeting. Give an example from my personal life. If you, like last year in January, my wife and I had the unique opportunity that one of our nieces in Galway was available for babysitting. So we said, we're going to have a date. Okay, we have a date for a long time, right? A date. And so it was in January. And if you've ever been in Galway, Ireland, it's like very rainy. And that day was particularly blustery. And nobody was going out, right? So, but we had that reservation, and there was that restaurant that we always wanted to go to. Before I left my home office, I did this exercise. I closed my eyes, and I set the intention about how I'm going to show up, or for how I'm going to show up as the best version of myself. And if you go on a date, you know it's always about the other person, right? It's never about you. So I set the intention for myself, saying, how am I going to show up as the best husband in the history of the universe? And my wife, who's going through the same, or does the same exercises, she set the same intention. And so we went on a date, and it was the worst day ever. It was blustery. Nobody was out because it was so bad, even for Galway, Ireland standards. So we arrived at a restaurant where we were like half wet from the rain, like soaked. The restaurant was cold. There were only like two or just one other couple there. The service was slow. The food wasn't as great as we thought. The wine was cold. Right? So, and in old days, I would have called the manager, complained with the waiter, they wanted the chef, whatever, or would have dragged her, my wife, to another restaurant, through the rain again because I couldn't stand it there. But that moment, it didn't matter because it was just all about us. She was the most important in the history of the universe, right? None of that matters. And we had the best date that we've had for a long, long time, just because we set that intention, and despite the fact that everything around us was bad. Okay, so that is the power of setting an intention. Now you need to re-energize yourself, right? By, for example, you just bounce. You do this, bounce and clap your hands and smile like that, like this for like 20 times. Smiling is important in that case. And you're done, and then you go to the meeting. You can then just do these kind of things, or the Tony Robbins thing, whatever, but you energize yourself, and then you go to the meeting. And then you show up as the very best self. So if you did that, how different, how much better would your meetings be? So try this. Let me know how it works. Share with me your successes. Write it down like here, wherever you watch this video right now. Share it with me because I want to know.